Sreenidi Bala is a close friend of the foundation. Yes, she deserves applause as certifiably the youngest in the room. But age compares nothing to her thoughts and her vision and her accomplishments. She founded an organization during COVID called Code for All Minds, and I invite her here to share her thoughts with you.
Thank you. I mean, I'm pretty much a normal high schooler, so thank you all so much for that warm introduction, Kate, and the opportunity. I guess I'll start with a question to you all. I think of my childhood and the games I played, and brings back so many memories. Is there a game you played when you were younger that reminds you of the friends you were around, an important moment, or a fight with a sibling? Monopoly, Scrabble. Is there a game that anyone can call out?
Crossfire.
Crossfire? Ooh, okay, maybe I'm like young. Okay. I was gonna say Battleship. Did anyone play Battleship when they were young? Okay. So we're all kind of in the same. So the game Battleship, for me, reminds me of my childhood best friend, Matt. So for those who don't know the game of Battleship, you and your opponent kind of put these ships in coordinates, and you're guessing the other person where the ship is, and once you get a set of coordinates, you can actually sink the ship. So there's a lot of strategy behind it, a lot of, you have to learn how people think, so very much like applicable to the real world. But my childhood best friend, Matt, and I would play this, and no matter how much I tried, I would constantly fail. So I saw his brilliance. We were playing this game at the age of 3 and onwards, but that brilliance that Matt had and the incredible strategy he had when he played the game of Battleship is not how the world saw him. Matt was actually diagnosed with autism at a very early age, and ever since, the way the world saw him was through that diagnosis. So, through the school system, being put in the special education classroom and all of that, you didn't see the incredible intelligence he possessed. So I saw that while I was playing Battleship, and he ended up moving to Virginia, so I didn't see him as often, and that tradition of playing Battleship and me horribly failing stopped. I sought to continue that learning process and the friendship I had created with Matt, with the special needs students in my school. So I'm from Farmington, Connecticut. We have something called the SLC room. So I'd go in there every day and we'd play a game, whether it was Twister, tried to do Battleship, Monopoly, just anything with these kids. It was a way to gain a friendship for me. And in each personal interaction I had, I saw their individual brilliance come out. Some kids were incredible with remembering music. Some kids, math was their strength. There was just so much in that room and so much potential that needed to be unlocked, and that's really what I've learned in being in the SLC classroom in Farmington, Connecticut, is there is potential everywhere, in every corner of a classroom, in every corner of this country, and it just takes someone to see that. So I wanted to bring my friends, these kids had become my friends starting from 5th grade, I wanted to bring them outside of the special needs, or SLC classroom. So I was the kind of kid in middle school who'd sneak them into our science class, to our math class, and just let them sit there and have that traditional class environment experience. Over time, I convinced my teachers to give them adaptive activities to kind of, not just be in the same environment, but do some of that learning. And when COVID happened, all of those social connections and the little bits of STEM that they were being exposed to were immediately cut off. We went to a completely asynchronous learning format, and our school was trying to get the 1,000 kids in our middle school situated with Chromebooks that they forgot about an entire population of students who didn't know how to use technology. So for me, it started with, how do you teach them how to use Google Meet? How do you teach them how to send an email to continue the social connections they had created in school? So I'd create these personalized video lessons for the 15 kids in there, and it was very conversational. I was just like, how are you doing? The things I knew about their personal lives, and we'd go through a simple task. And for each kid, success wasn't the same thing. Some kids just in a year learned how to log into the computer. Some kids were able to send an email and create a Google Meet link. It's different across the board, but the overarching idea is when you have personalized education, especially with the neurodivergent population, you give them a shot at success. And it's never about what they're learning, it's how you teach them. And that completely changed my mindset. So what started as just simple technology in these videos I was creating that were by far not great quality at all, made me rethink how curriculum was being, what opportunities there were at my school district. So that started a 3-year process in Farmington that's called Aspire Adaptive STEM. It's a course that now runs at our high school. It was piloted, and that kind of translated to the work I do now, which is Code for All Minds. It's a free platform where any special needs student in this country and their family can access fundamental curriculum. It starts with what is coding, goes into dragging and dropping, those motor skills, really, really fundamental. And educators and parents can access lessons in sequencing, functions, whatever they want to do. It isn't one lesson isn't dependent on the other, and that's what's so unique, because each kid is so different, and their needs are very different. And that, when you have curriculum on a website, you can't account for each personal need, but every day I try to ensure we get better at doing that. So there's video lessons for each of these things, because a lot of times parents and educators feel overwhelmed starting to teach computer science. It's a very uncharted territory for most of these families, and very autism-friendly media and all of that. But to take it back a level, what I've learned from this process, the kids I've worked with in the pilot program and all of that, is it just takes one person to see someone else. It just takes that one moment where you make someone feel important. It just takes that one interaction. From kids, Everett from my own hometown, to Nick from Oklahoma, to, Arush from Westchester, Pennsylvania. There's kids all over who just deserve a chance. And to take it back, because all of our speakers have talked about imagining a world, I'd like you to imagine a world where the people who sit at the table and innovate, the people who design the next generation of solutions for our world, not only reflect the gender, the racial diversity in this room, but also encompass the cognitive and neurodiversity. The things we design, the people who are in power, ensure that the solutions created help everyone and move the world forward for all populations. So when we give everyone a chance to do that, and when we unlock potential and the unique talents of the neurodivergent population, we make the world just a little bit more of a better place for all. Thank you.